Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome to the weekly reading for April 10th through 16th, 2022. Get excited. I am Joyful Medium Joy Giovanni, and I help people step out of overwhelm and into love through mediumship and psychic readings, teaching, and coaching. And you can connect more with me on my website, joyfulmedium.com, or through my private Facebook group, Joy Soul Spa, where we regularly do teaching and workshops, and I'm live there every week. So if you want to chat with me, that's where to find me. Let's dive right into the energy of this week and take a look. Checking out the energies, potentials. You guys know that I pre-shuffle these cards in the interest of your time. Otherwise, these readings will get really long. Okay. Then we will pull some guidance. I'm just going to set those out already. I hope you guys are doing great. We are into spring, and in San Diego, where I am, it is hot already. Okay. This card doesn't want to come up. So let's take a look. The situation that we are dealing with this week, the basis of the week, the main energy is this Seven of Swords. Now, Seven of Swords can often indicate finding out that someone wasn't necessarily the most honest with us in the past. So this could be about another person. It could also be about you not having been the most honest in the past, and those things just starting to come to light, starting to, come back to bite you maybe for some of us. And this will be a little different for everyone, but often the Seven of Swords is, in relationship reading, this would be the card of, someone's being dishonest or potentially cheating. But as it relates to this reading and the energy of this week, it can be just a little heads up for making sure that you are fully in integrity with whatever you're doing work-wise, relationship-wise, with friends, making sure you're being fully honest and the most true to yourself and others this week, but also having a little heads up about how other people are being in your experience in your day-to-day life. So if something doesn't sit quite right with you, if someone offers you a contract, for example, or an excuse, and this can present in many ways, and it doesn't quite sit right with you, just do a little more digging or pay a little bit more attention. This can be difficult truths coming to light. Seven often indicates choice. So you do have a choice in the matter, most likely. Interesting. The card that crosses it, or what else we need to know. 8 often has to do with building a foundation, building our future, but also learning all we can about a subject or a topic, something we're working on. So whatever you are diving into this week, make sure you are getting as much information, really learning as much about it as you can. For some of you, I just know that this is contracts, agreements, maybe contracting for new work or a new space, just depending on what's going on with you. But it can also be, regarding if you are buying a new home, for example, or moving to a new apartment, just really learning all you can about the area, the people involved, the neighbors, the plumbing, all the things. There might be something that just is not being fully disclosed to you. Okay, so let's take a look at the other cards around. Now, the basis of the situation, 9 of Pentacles. It doesn't mean that we have to scrap this whole idea or whatever this is for you this week. We're really trying to build on that foundation of harvesting what we truly want. So if you look, she's got this beautiful harvest here. She's still looking a little bit around. She's got this little birdie on her head, getting ready to sing its song and tell her the rest of what she needs to know. She's almost at a 10 because she's at a 9, but not quite. So really getting ready to harvest, but making sure that you do your due diligence so that you're harvesting exactly what you want. Now, whether this presents for you across the board in your life, in a relationship, in career, in your home, it can be in any facet of your life, but just making sure that you are doing your due diligence, your full research, learning as much as you can, really taking a look at the situation and the people so that you can be harvesting exactly what you want in the end. What have we learned in the recent past that's going to give us some help and guidance now? This 2 of Swords reversed. So when 2 of Swords is upright, it often indicates a choice. Sometimes it can be an impartial choice. See, she's blindfolded, or sometimes it can be not being honest with ourselves and seeing the truth of these 2 options, for example. See how this water looks a little bit stormy there? So it can mean, a little turbulence in the choices that we're making. Now, since it's reversed, it means I want to just encourage you to think back to where you maybe have disregarded red flags in the past and learned that you really do need to trust your intuition when making choices. I think you've learned some hard lessons about that in the past of not trusting your intuition and just going forward with something that's not sitting right with you. And how did that work out for you? So just being aware, of how you've done it in the past when making choices and decisions and wanting to do it in the best way you can now. Now, this card, the highest and greatest good, is this Knight of Cups in reverse. Now, Knight of Cups is the slowest moving knight in the tarot. If you see this gal here, she's trying not to spill this cup. She's moving one step at a time, slowly and diligently, but this card's in reverse. So this can indicate in this situation, what I'm getting is that there might be someone involved in this situation that's trying to really push you or push the situation forward in a fast way, but we're being asked to take it one step at a time. And if you want to do some more reading or research or have more questions, ask them. Don't let someone else in the situation or the situation itself make you feel rushed, make you make hasty decisions. It doesn't mean that you won't have to, really pay attention. And if it's a contract, for example, and it's due in a week, you still can read and investigate and sign within that week. It's just don't let anyone put pressure on you to make you just say, oh, okay, I'm not going to look into anything because I feel pressured, for example. So just to be aware of that. Now, what is right around the corner is the Hierophant. This is a great card. This is order. This is discipline. This is things coming into place. This is a very positive card. This is coming into balance. This is really getting what you need in the situation. This is having the passion and the power and the intelligence. So meaning if you, in whatever situations arise for you this week, if you are able to really be studious, really get that extra information, really see the facts and the people involved for what they truly are, you're going to come out of this okay. This Hierophant card is a really positive card as it relates to this. It's structure, it's things falling into place. It is your highest and greatest good being able to manifest in the near future. Now, I'm going to push these to the side just a little bit here, and we are going to take a look at the rest of the guidance for us on this week. These are a little bit messy, but that's okay. Okay. Exciting. Okay. So you in the situation, this is your influence into this situation and what's going on this week, what you can do. I love this card, intention. So what is this little egg that you are sitting on? And often a white owl represents a psychic or an intuitive. That's you. So with this egg, what are you wanting to hatch? What's your intention? What's your dream or goal for the situations that you are working through this week? And remember, you've got to set your intention, whether it's just that you want the highest and greatest good as the outcome, whether it's that you really want this property, whether it's that you want this business deal to move forward. What is your intention? Just don't be going along and not having firm intentions in the game, if you will. So really just declaring to yourself, to your higher self, to your higher power, what you really want in this situation. If it's that you want the knowledge and information, if it's that you want things to come together, really remember we're talking about what fruits are you wanting to harvest at the end of this. Well, that's your intention. What do you intend? What do you really, really want in this situation? What's best for you? What do you not want, for example? So really just paying attention to that. And that's what you can do, because if we have a menu and we don't order anything and don't request anything, we're not going to get anything when it comes time for the meal, right? So what are you ordering up from the universe? What are you requesting? What are you doing your research and diligence towards? So just to know that, just to be aware that you have some responsibility here too. Now, other people in the situation, moonlight. What I love about this card is the moon often indicates this is a beautiful full moon. The full moon is about things coming to light, truth coming to light. So if you're available for it, there might be a person in this situation. It might be, for example, we talked about it could be a person not telling the whole truth. It might be that person going to expose themselves. It could be a totally different person that has information, that has wisdom, that has something that you can know that can help you read this contract. So look to others outside of yourself for assistance in reading a contract, assistance in learning more about what's going on in the situation. You don't have to do it all alone. You can set your intention, but you can always also receive helpful guidance from the helpers around, which I really love for you. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for help, to ask someone to read something for you or look at a contract for you or just talk it out with you. Yeah, or if, for example, if you're hiring someone and you really need to know the truth about them as an employee, don't be afraid to ask their references, for example. They might be able to shed some light on something or inform you about something that you wouldn't otherwise find out. Now, these are external pieces of guidance. Goblins. Okay. This is just a little bit of a heads up that it might feel busy, it might feel distracting, it might feel like there are lots of moving pieces, lots of distractors. You might be tempted to do it as you've always done it instead of doing it in the way that's best for this situation. Meaning if you've always just signed contracts blindly, you might feel tempted, your old goblins might be rising up and tempting you just to sign it and get it over with. It's too stressful. So just keep that in mind, that old stresses might just pop into your mind. If you were really a pushover before and believed or let yourself believe people's stories who didn't make sense, for example, or excuses that you knew weren't true or 100% true, but your tendency is just to let people get away with things. This is just a heads up to you about just because you've always done something a certain way, if it hasn't worked for you or hasn't been healthy for you, you don't have to do it that way again. We all have our own little inner goblins, if you will. You don't have to listen to them, and you can choose a new way or a better way to do things. Metamorphosis. Yeah, this goes right along with that because you're ready to change. You're ready to step into this new phase, this Hierophant, this highest and greatest good for yourself. And what's interesting is this 7 of Wands is also a 7. So this is a 7, this 2 and 5 is a 7. By finding out the truth of the situation, by doing your due diligence, by really, being available to let go of these past goblins, if you will, there's a metamorphosis, a transformation, a full bloom available for you to step into this Hierophant energy. It's just you setting your intentions, being available for things to come to light, putting aside, your own challenges that you may have went with in the past, your own inner goblins, if you will, so that you're available for this metamorphosis. It's time for you to really blossom, to really become that butterfly. Another little thing to remember is as the butterfly is in the cocoon and it's going through this metamorphosis, it's not always comfortable. So sometimes we need to be outside of our comfort zone to really have the growth we need. This might feel very outside of your comfort zone to be asking for assistance, learning all you can, digging deeper into someone's story, whatever it is for you this week. It might feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's what's necessary for your metamorphosis. That's really exciting. Okay, so that is our guidance and messages for the week. We are going to see what our loved ones in the spirit world have for us this week. I'm going to pull one card. So I just ask you on these, if you want to play along, just to kind of close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let one loved one pop into your mind. And the guidance that loved one, the message they have for you this week is, remember me by the happy memories we created. Let me see this card. Remember me by the happy memories we created. Sometimes it can be our tendency. I have this often in readings. If someone had a very difficult passing, for example, it might be really seared into our mind to remember the last bit that was very traumatic or very difficult, or if we had a difficult relationship with someone some of the time, but there are happy things about them, or if they had any type of difficulty in their life, they're just asking you to remember them by the happy memories you created. They don't want you to remember them by the trauma at the end, for example, but remember them by the happy memories. And I'm going to pull one more clarifier for this. Be spontaneous. And look, it's like this one figure from the other side is reaching out to this figure that is inside that flower, which is beautiful. Your loved ones are reaching out to you, which is incredible. And just encouraging you to remember the happy times, but also to be spontaneous. They don't want you to be stuck. You're still here. You're still having a life to live. That means you still have things to accomplish on this earth and things to do. And sometimes it's okay to be spontaneous. We don't need to have every second and every moment planned out, but let yourself create new memories and create, incredible things that you might not have by being spontaneous and also hanging on to these memories. positive and happy memories, beautiful memories that you shared with your loved one when they were still here. So I hope this guidance is helpful for you this week. Let me know in the comments how this resonated with you. Let me know what you're going through this week or what you are deciding about. I've got a couple things myself, so I'll put them in the comments and we will see how this week shapes up for all of us. And if you're not already in the Joy Soul Spa Facebook group, get on in there because I'm in there live every week. And we chat and we learn and we grow together. It's a great community and I hope to see you there. Big hugs and bye for now.